We are just 72 hours, 3 days away from Bad Blood in Miami. But tonight, we are live in the home of the Orlando Magic, the Kia Center, for Thursday Night SmackDown. The World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line come Bad Blood. But in tonight's main event, two men who are trying to gun for the gold will go head-to-head. The megastar LA Knight and Big Bronson Reed have set their claims in recent weeks that they want a shot at the championship. Tonight, they look to go through one another. And speaking of championship gold, the red, white, blue, and gold, the United States Championship is on the line tonight. 2 weeks ago, Aleister Black scored a pinfall victory over the champion Austin Theory. Tonight, Black is gunning for Theory's championship. The United States title is on the line from Orlando. And this Sunday night in South Beach, Rey Mysterio contests his own son, Dirty Dom, for the Cruiserweight Championship of the world. That is then, this is now, and we are set for a high-profile tag team matchup live from the Kia Center to kick things off on Thursday Night SmackDown.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 340 pounds, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee,
Last month on SmackDown, Dominic Mysterio used an exposed turnbuckle to aid him in victory over his own father. Rey Mysterio looks to right that wrong come Sunday when he once again clashes with his own flesh and blood. The Cruiserweight Championship of the world that Rey Mysterio has held many a time throughout his career is on the line come Bad Blood. Dominic Mysterio, a two-time Cruiserweight Champion of the world, and one of several championships that currently are housed by the Judgment Day. Accompanied by the Women's United States Champion Liv Morgan, and of course the head of the group, the World Heavyweight Champion Finn Balor. The Judgment Day look to set the precedent for what could be a career-defining night for Finn and company come Sunday in Miami.
and their opponents at a combined weight of 400 pounds, JD McDonough and Carlito, the Judgment Day.
Carlito and JD McDonough look to get the job done here tonight as the champions look on. But what do you think's going through the mind of the Prince? Just 3 nights away from his one-on-one bout inside Hell in a Cell against Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. Years of history between these two men, and the last time they went one-on-one was back at SummerSlam in August when Damian Priest defeated Finn Balor in that contest. It is a whole different ball game come Sunday. Balor's heavyweight title is on the line. The two men will be locked inside the Devil's Playground. Finn Balor's got only 3 more nights to contemplate a game plan to figure out how the hell he is going to survive his trip south to heaven, and Damian Priest is waiting there with open arms. Of course, it was last week on SmackDown that Damian Priest ambushed Finn Balor after Balor's victory over Trick Williams, but things went from bad to worse, if you will, as Balor drove Damian Priest straight through the announce table at ringside. We know Damian is not in the building tonight here in Orlando, resting and recuperating after last week and preparing for what is to come on Sunday inside Hell in a Cell. Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, all respective champions, but tonight the pressure is on the shoulders of the Irish Ace JD McDonough as well as Carlito as they look to turn away Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio of the Latino World Order. Rey Mysterio with a bone to pick with his son. Returned after several months away. Hold that thought, Dragon Lee after the standing Spanish Fly looking to take out another former Cruiserweight champion in JD McDonough. Not just yet, but a hot start. for a man who's one half of a former tag team champion here on SmackDown, that being Dragon Lee. Tag mate of the other half of that former tandem, and that's Rey Mysterio. LWO have had a lot of success together. It's about over a year ago that Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio were tag team champions here on SmackDown. But on Sunday, it is all about singles gold for Rey Mysterio. And we were talking about moments prior, about a month ago here on SmackDown. Rey Mysterio resurfacing for the first time in a couple of months. He got in the face of Dirty Dom. You know, Dominic Mysterio was traded away from SmackDown, traded away from his father about 2 years ago, went to Raw, joined the Judgment Day, and became a completely different individual. Rey and Dom crossing paths for the very first time in nearly 2 years, just about a month ago on SmackDown, and Rey gave Dom a piece of his mind, gave him a piece of what he thought of him, the man he's become. Later that night, Rey Mysterio challenging Dominic Mysterio for his Cruiserweight Championship, hoping to teach him a lesson in respect. Dominic Mysterio, however, showed his true colors, using an underhanded tactic such as exposing the turnbuckle to aid him in victory over his father, Rey. Of course, it was last week on SmackDown, Dominic one-on-one with another man who has had a bone to pick with the Judgment Day. Hold that thought as Carlito might have just put away the Cruiserweight Champion's #1 contender, but Rey's still alive. AJ Styles, another man who's got a bone to pick with the Judgment Day. He went one-on-one with Dominic Mysterio last week. Rey Mysterio making his way down the ringside, snagging Dom's Cruiserweight Championship, causing a distraction, ultimately aiding AJ Styles in his win over Dirty Dom. Unfortunately, it wasn't the last we saw of those two men last week, as Dominic Mysterio really showed his true colors yet again as he attacked his own father in the backstage area. Well, now Rey Mysterio starting to gain some momentum here. There's Dom's little girlfriend, Liv Morgan, up on the apron, distracting Rey and allowing Carlito to make sure the Judgment Day's momentum is in full control of this matchup. You know, it takes a special kind of individual such as Dominic Mysterio to stoop to the depths he's had against his own flesh and blood over the last month. First cheating to defeat Rey, and then ambushing him in the backstage area last week. Rey Mysterio's got to teach that son of a you-know-what a lesson. He's going to have his opportunity come Sunday in Miami, Florida, when the Cruiserweight Championship is once again on the line. Right now, Rey just trying to counteract the offense of JD McDonough, dropping him on that massive dome, and a tag made to Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee, who's been in the ring with Dominic Mysterio before, knows what it's like to be in there with Rey's own flesh and blood. What a maneuver by Dragon Lee, nearly defeating JD McDonough, but not over yet. Dragon Lee, pressure's on his shoulders right now to perform at the highest. Certainly doesn't want to be the fall man in this tag team contest tonight. All the while, Rey Mysterio is trying to garner some momentum ahead of Sunday. And look at this! Dragon Lee putting on a display of excellence here. Hold on a second. Off the shooting star, Balor grabbing referee Chad Patton. Dragon Lee now going after Carlito on the apron. A lot of bodies here at ringside, and Dom taking a cheap shot at Dragon Lee. Well, Dragon Lee absolutely outnumbered on the opposite side of the ring from his tag team partner. Judgment Day eating him alive like a pack of dogs. Oh, there's a cheap shot by JD. Liv Morgan's heading back to the locker room. I believe referee Chad Patton at least threw her out of here, but you still got a couple of other individuals to worry about. Maybe throw out the whole group next time. The numbers game of the Judgment Day, one of the many reasons why they have taken over SmackDown over the last couple of months. Finn Balor, the current World Heavyweight Champion. Liv Morgan, the current Women's United States Champion. Dirty Dom, the Cruiserweight Champion. Hell, a victory for Carlito and McDonough tonight could really make some waves in the tag team division here on SmackDown. Those titles going to be on the line on Sunday night as well. So Motor City Machine Guns challenge Drew McIntyre and Sheamus come Miami, Florida. Right now it's Carlito with a massive spine buster on Dragon Lee. Things are not looking up for the LWO at the given moment. Judgment Day firmly in the driver's seat. You got to believe this is exactly what they want ahead of two high-profile championship matches at Bad Blood. Finn Balor, of course, going to be locked inside Devil's Playground. The man he once called his brother in Damian Priest. Now bitter enemy as Dragon Lee off the bicycle knee might have just knocked Carlito out for good. There's a tag made of the master, the 619 Rey Mysterio. Giving it back to JD McDonough, eye for an eye here. And now Rey all over the throw of Carlito. Rey Mysterio looking to rev up the engines here for the Latino World Order. Carlito setting the ropes again. Rey goes for the basement drop kick. Nobody home. Carlito gonna sidestep and takes out the luchador. Into the cover, and Dragon Lee gonna make sure that the Hall of Famer isn't the one getting his shoulders down for the 3 tonight. Well, Carlito turned his attention to Dragon Lee. Down he goes. That's what he gets for his troubles. Now Rey Mysterio set into his own corner. Unfortunately, no fresh legs to tag. Rey gonna do what he always does. That's continue to fight. Carlito now set into enemy territory. Rey Mysterio in hot pursuit. On top with Carlito, swinging him off the top. What a maneuver. And Rey far from done. I think it's time to dial up the cell phones. A little 619 by Mysterio. Dropping the dime. Into the cover goes Rey. Keep your eyes on JD McDonough because he's in here to spoil the fun. Oh, I don't think Rey Mysterio is going to take too kindly to that. He's got something for the Irish Ace as well. Mysterio stuck between a rock and a hard place. Going to keep on fighting. Oh, he better keep his eyes on Carlito. Think Dirty Dom taking his father's eye off the ball. There's Carlito from behind. Off the schoolboy, the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship, gonna kick out again. Bad blood to be settled between father and son on Sunday, but Rey Mysterio's dealing with the numbers game of the Judgment Day right now. Down goes Carlito. McDonough off the apron again. Rey Mysterio on fire at the given moment. Certainly motivated to send a message to his son. Frog splash by Rey. Into the cover. A huge victory for the Latino World Order.
Here are your winners, Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio, the SWO.
Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio head into a personal battle on Sunday night. And another personal battle that awaits come Miami. It's of course the last woman standing matchup between Io Sky and Raquel Rodriguez. But tonight, they look to gain the edge towards one another. It is pick your poison. Io chooses Raquel's opponent. Raquel chooses Io's opponent. Pick your poison begins on SmackDown. Up next. This November, the heat rises to a whole new level. The WWE returns to South Beach, Miami, Florida, for a night where grudges burn hotter than the Florida sun, and bad blood finally boils over. Championships will hang in the balance. Metal will be tested. Rivalries will explode. Every superstar stepping into that ring has something to prove and someone to destroy. Because when tempers flare and egos clash, there's only one place where it all gets settled. Presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships, this is WWE Bad Blood. We're back live from Orlando. And just 3 nights before the Women's World Championship is on the line, Io Sky is here against an opponent of Raquel Rodriguez choosing.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, representing the Kabuki Warriors from Tokyo, Japan. The WWE Women's World Champion, Io Sky.
The history between Io Sky and Raquel Rodriguez runs deep, and this Sunday night at Bad Blood, they will clash once more in the last woman standing matchup for the Women's World Championship. Raquel has been hell-bent damn near all year long to get back the title she lost at WrestleMania. She is en route to trying to become a three-time Women's World Champion, but standing in her way is the genius of the Sky.
And her opponent from Miami, Florida,
Oh, well, tonight is the Pick Your Poison. Io chooses Raquel's opponent. Raquel has chosen Io's, and she went down to NXT to make her choice. The former MMA superstar, the NXT Breakout Tournament winner a couple of years ago, Lola Vice, who resides in the home of Bad Blood, Miami, Florida. This is a very interesting matchup for Io Sky ahead of that last woman standing match on Sunday. Well, of course, pick your poison, a chance to get the edge over your opponent. Lola Vice can certainly do a number against Io Sky 3 nights before that last woman standing matchup. Well, you got to give credit where credit's due. This is smart by Raquel. I don't think Io was expecting an NXT superstar to be chosen for this Pick Your Poison. But nonetheless, we are underway here on SmackDown. The Women's World Champion Io Sky versus NXT's Lola Vice, who is about to knock off Io in the early moments here, not just yet. And imagine what this could do for Lola Vice's career if she could upset Io Sky here tonight on SmackDown. There's Io now, going for a pinfall of her own, and it's only a 1 count. Lola Vice has got a huge opportunity. For all we know, Io Sky's mind is already in Miami, already focused on the last woman standing matchup, and this contest that she is currently in the midst of may not be at her forefront. Lola Vice has an opportunity to throw Io Sky off her game and score a massive upset that can easily open doors for her here on Thursday Night SmackDown. Well, a great choice by Raquel Rodriguez, like Raquel or not, and we got ourselves a first-time ever collision in the middle of Orlando, Florida, the home of NXT. Right now, Lola Vice showcasing some of that MMA background as she is all over Io Sky and giving these people a show. Lola Vice, hard striker inside of that ring, and has obviously done her homework, realizing that she cannot allow Io Sky to start flying through the air. Better not take her eye off the ball and allow Io Sky to get the R&R that she just did. And there's that step-up drop kick by the world champion. That's the naivety of Lola Vice coming into play. Gave Io Sky way too much time to recover. And now the genius of the Sky, in a moment's notice, is back in control. Io has scored not 1 but 2 victories over Raquel Rodriguez in 2025. Of course, the Elimination Chamber match winner earlier this year as well. She has held the Women's World Championship since March at WrestleMania. Isn't looking to let up anytime soon. To the outside she goes, coming crashing down on Lola Vice. And Io's far from done. Io looking to put on a display here tonight of high risk, high reward action. Meteor off the barricade. Just as this is an opportunity for Lola Vice, and just as this is a way for Raquel Rodriguez to get the edge over Io Sky ahead of Bad Blood, it's also a chance for the world champion to send one last message to her challenger come Sunday. Io Sky now trying to prove that she is just as good as she's been all year long. Lola Vice getting the shoulder up at the last second. Io Sky has got to be ready for war come Sunday night. She has got to believe that Raquel is going to come out guns a-blazing in that last woman standing matchup. No rules, no restrictions, no countouts or disqualifications. Only way we are going to crown a champion in Miami on Sunday is when either Io or Raquel cannot answer the referee's count of 10. Io Sky, at a moment's notice, is down out of the corner. If Lola Vice can do a number on Io, Raquel is certainly going to have an opportunity to pick apart Io Sky that much easier come Sunday. Of course, those same sentiments can be said. Oh man, what a scoop and a slam by Vice. Same sentiments can be said for Raquel Rodriguez's situation, as she will face an opponent of Io Sky's choosing later tonight here on SmackDown. Io Sky, I'm sure, chose just as wisely. Although, again, I don't think Io was expecting an NXT superstar to arrive on the scene here on SmackDown and give her the fight that she is in. Io may be seeing stars after that collision. Lola Vice could be on the verge of the biggest upset all year long here on SmackDown. Knee right to the abdominal. Kick right to the back of the neck. Wipes out the world champion. A 3 count may be on the horizon. Not just yet. Io Sky still alive. The women's world champion has shown time and time again just this year alone that even when you think you got her down and out, she has that ability to rise like a phoenix and surprise us all. Just ask Raquel Rodriguez, who has been stunned by Io Sky not once but twice on premium live events in 2025. Lola now set in the corner. Io Sky still moving incredibly well for somebody who's been put through the ringer since the bell sounded here in Orlando. Io now up on the middle rope. Lola Vice at a moment's notice. Gotta shake off the cobwebs, and there's that elevated DDT for the world champion. As Lola Vice shown her best hand remains to be seen, although Io Sky has started to make a comeback. In control now, and a bullet train attack in the corner. What do we say about Io Sky? She might be seeing stars. I think Lola Vice is counting sheep right now. Io now on top, over the moonsault. Lola putting up a hell of a fight, but it's academic from here. Io Sky scores the victory.
Here is your winner, Io Sky.
Well, I think Raquel certainly threw Io off her game tonight with the choice of Lola Vice from NXT, but Io Sky showing why she is one of the best in the world today, adapting to the situation and surviving the storm. The Women's World Champion looking as ready as ever for the last woman standing matchup come Miami, Florida at Bad Blood. Well, of course, a United States Championship matchup is on the horizon here on SmackDown tonight. And let us show you how it came about just 2 weeks ago. Aleister Black in the midst of a non-title matchup against Austin Theory. Austin Theory, who has been seeing it come from all angles with potential United States Championship challengers, had about enough for this matchup. He was ready to walk out, hit the showers, and head out of here. All for Trick Williams to be waiting with open arms. Trick, who has been gunning for Austin Theory's United States title since the summer. Trick making sure Austin Theory had nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, and moments later, Theory found himself back inside the ring with a dark and sinister Aleister Black. Theory tried to steal the victory off that backslide, but as you'll see, Aleister knows how to catch his opponents at a moment's notice. A black mass that knocked out the United States champion and awarded victory to now the #1 contender. This is Aleister Black's only 3rd matchup since returning to the WWE over a month ago. He defeated Andrade on his return night. 2 weeks ago, he turned away Austin Theory. And now tonight, he has an opportunity, quicker than you can blink, to win the United States Championship here on SmackDown. And if anybody has the tools set to do it, you are looking at him. He is a former NXT champion, and he is on the hunt for gold here on Thursday nights. Austin Theory fell short to Black 2 weeks ago. Can he figure out a way to keep down a game challenger? Aleister challenged Theory for the gold. Coming up next, live from Orlando. The battlefield will be set live. WWE returns to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, in the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's the Fall Classic, where dream teams assemble, fueled by pride, vengeance, and the hunger to dominate. Alliances will be tested, rivalries will square off, and the best of the best will collide to determine who will be the sole survivors. On one of the most important nights of the WWE calendar, only the strongest will survive. Presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships, history will be made at the 2025 Survivor Series. The 2025 Survivor Series coming your way just 3 weeks from Sunday from Madison Square Garden in New York City. But tonight we are live from the Kia Center in Orlando, Florida. Austin Theory has made his way down the aisle and inside the squared circle and is set to defend the championship gold around his waist. High stakes, high reward as the United States Championship is on the line.
Is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE United States Championship. Introducing the challenger from Amsterdam in the Netherlands, weighing in at 215 pounds, Aleister. And his opponent, from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, the WWE United States Champion, Austin Theory.
Aleister Black, certainly not a man who shows much emotion, but rest assured he is locked, ready, and focused, hoping to obtain that very championship, the United States title here tonight. Austin Theory better be ready. He better bring his A game. He's been great ever since winning that United States title. He's made it this far, but Aleister Black has proven he can defeat Austin Theory, and he may be on the verge of doing it again. The bell has sounded. We are underway. United States title is on the line here on SmackDown. Theory, I'm sure, is going to try to throw Aleister Black off his game. There's the backslide, similar to 2 weeks ago here. Austin Theory going to the well with something that did not work out last time. But there you see, he catches Aleister Black before Black can catch him. Nice pump kick takes the challenger off his feet. Austin Theory has held the United States Championship since July at Money in the Bank. He was turned away on Andrade, LA Knight, Trick Williams, all in retention of his championship gold. Of course, Austin Theory, as we mentioned, has had it coming from all angles. That championship comes a target on his back. Trick's been chasing the championship since the summer. Austin Theory even tried to get back at Trick Williams for throwing him back inside the ring 2 weeks ago. Go back to last week on SmackDown. Trick Williams is making his way down the ring for a main event contest against Finn Balor. Man, Theory might have just knocked Aleister Black's lights out here. Oh, that discus forearm, not just yet. As Trick Williams is making his way to the ring last week, Austin Theory ambushing him in the aisleway, dropping him with an 8-town down in the middle of his hometown in South Carolina. Theory obviously not here to make any friends, but he's certainly made a lot of enemies, especially since winning that United States Championship. Theory has been successful, nobody can deny that. But standing in his way tonight is a man who has proven, we shall say, that he can defeat the champion. Remains to be seen if he can do it again. Meanwhile, Austin Theory, buckle bomb to Aleister Black, and now into another cover this early on in the matchup. And another kick out by Black. Austin Theory all over Aleister. It has been one-way traffic since the bell sounded here in the Kia Center. Almost looks as if Theory is trying to get this matchup done in a hurry. Maybe nervous about entering championship rounds with a man who knocked his lights out 2 weeks ago here on SmackDown. Austin Theory moving like a man who is ever so confident in his actions. Remains to be seen if he's going to be that confident on the other side of the bell. Aleister Black sent into the corner again as Austin Theory just continues to have his way with the challenger. Aleister's got no answer right now. He may not have been expecting this aggression out of Austin Theory in the early moments of this United States Championship matchup. Theory in the middle rope, going for the neck breaker, and Aleister sidestepped it. Crash and burn by Austin Theory, and a discus knee might have just turned Theory's lights off for good. And a close call, as Austin Theory, I am sure, just saw his United States Championship reign flash before his very eyes. Aleister starting to unload, combination of strikes. Another man with an MMA background here on the SmackDown roster who is not afraid to use it. Austin Theory, at a moment's notice, looking up at the lights of the Kia Center as Aleister Black starts to rally in this championship contest. Aleister Black in the midst of only his third match since returning to the WWE. And it could be one where he leaves with championship gold. Exploder into the corner. Theory roll to the outside. But Aleister not too far. Behind the acai moonsault. Aleister Black has turned this matchup on its head. Theory thought going to the outside was going to be a chance to catch his breath. And for all he knows, he opens his eyes and here's Aleister Black coming down out of the skies. Theory sent back inside the ring. Obviously, Aleister Black needs to get the job done between the ropes if he wants to win the United States title, which he's got no problem doing. Off the pop-up meteor and nearly put Theory away. And another close call here. You've seen a lot of them already in this championship contest. Oh, Austin Theory, wait a minute, reversal. And at a moment's notice, dropping Aleister right on the knee. No wasted motion by either of these men tonight. And it's another near fall. Austin Theory caught Aleister Black slipping, tied him up and dropped him head first on the knee. Unfortunately, not enough to put away Aleister. Theory one-on-one with a 20-year veteran in this industry and somebody who has returned to SmackDown with purpose. Another lateral by Aleister. But it's only a 2. And these two men coming out guns a-blazing tonight, throwing some live rounds towards one another. All in the means of leaving Orlando, Florida with the red, white, blue, and gold in their hand. Theory now set into the corner. May have kicked out, but has got to be feeling loopy off yet another strike by Aleister. Austin Theory now hoisted on the top rope. Whatever Black's got in mind, you got to believe it's going to bring disaster to the champion. Superplex could be incoming, and Austin Theory shoves him off the top. Hard fall by the challenger. All the while, Theory now out on the apron. Looking to bring the fight to Aleister Black. There's that drop kick right to the chest cavity. And back and forth we start to go between Theory and Aleister Black as this United States Championship match progresses. Austin Theory ever so confident. And there's that neck breaker he was looking for earlier. Another cover by the champion. Will that be all she wrote? Not just yet, Aleister Black. I'll buy a little less enthusiastic than previously. Able to kick out nonetheless. And fatigue from this contest starting to set in for both champion and challenger. They have thrown a lot of big-time maneuvers at one another. There's another sidestep by Aleister Black here. Might have caught Austin Theory slipping. Unloaded with the strikes. Man, Theory has ate the knees of Aleister Black time and time again in this match, jumping out of the belly to back, nearly dropping Theory in the back of his head. Aleister Black came to collect. On the middle rope, he goes this time. What at the forearm, nobody home. These two men certainly did their homework after their battle 2 weeks ago on one another. And Austin Theory having Black in the burning hammer position and just swinging him out. Power bomb style on the canvas. Ever so confident is the United... Oh, wait a minute here. We got some company. Trick Williams is live and in living color in the Kia Center. Well, I think after that ambush last week in Trick's hometown, he's got a bone to pick with Theory now more than ever. Aleister now is the one delivering the backslide for the victory. Nearly stole the United States Championship. Oh man, close call, and hang on here. Now the small package by Theory to the challenger. Theory steals the victory. Trick Williams' attempt backfired.
Here's your winner, and still WWE United States Champion, Austin Theory.
Oh man, well, Aleister Black and Austin Theory putting on a banger. Trick Williams arriving, seemingly to distract Austin Theory and cost him the United States Championship. But at a moment's notice, it backfired. Austin Theory catching Aleister Black with that small package to retain the title. Can't get enough universe mode? PLE kickoff shows, live events, all exclusive to Noah Nation Gaming channel members. Hit the join button down below and gain access to more universe than ever before. We want to take you back to SmackDown last week in Columbia, South Carolina. Trick Williams one-on-one with the World Heavyweight Champion Finn Balor in your main event. Trick starting to rally a comeback, only for the Prince to begin to take over. A coup de grace later, and the head of the Judgment Day was standing tall, at least for a moment. Finn Balor basking in the glory of his victory, only for his bad blood opponent, Damian Priest, to arrive on the scene and look to get his hands on his ex-best friend just a couple of weeks before they collided inside Hell in a Cell. Well, things would spill to the outside, Finn Balor exposing the announce table and delivering a steel step shot right to the dome of the punishment. The brawl would ensue on top of the table, and moments later, Finn Balor getting the last laugh, sending Damian Priest south of heaven straight through the announce table. And now we are just 3 nights away from the next chapter in this brewing rivalry being written. Locked inside Devil's Playground, Hell in a Cell, Finn Balor defends the World Heavyweight Championship against his former friend turned bitter enemy, Damian Priest, live this Sunday at Bad Blood. What a contest that is going to be. There's no telling the lengths that those two men are going to be willing to travel to keep down one another. And I think those same sentiments can be said about the Women's World Championship contest on Sunday night as well. The last woman standing matchup, where this woman, Raquel Rodriguez, looks to become a 3-time Women's World Champion. She has been haunted by the memory of WrestleMania earlier this year when she lost the crown to Io Sky. That loss really dawned a new day for Raquel Rodriguez. And on Sunday night at Bad Blood, this new attitude that we have seen month in, month out on SmackDown could all come to fruition if Raquel can become the champion. Well, Raquel chose Lola Vice from NXT for Io Sky's opponent earlier on. And I think the woman that Io Sky chose should really come to no surprise.
And her opponent from Tokyo, Japan, Julia.
Well, I think Julia has got her own bone to pick with Raquel Rodriguez, just as Io Sky does. Julia's been dropped by Raquel Rodriguez inside of that ring when Julia showed interest in challenging for the Women's World title. Julia and Io Sky falling short to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez a number of weeks ago in tag team action. And then, of course, last week on SmackDown, Julia one-on-one with the United States champion Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez extremely pivotal in making sure Liv Morgan got the victory 7 nights ago. Well, Julia out here as the chosen opponent in the midst of this pick your poison, as Io Sky chooses Julia to fight Raquel Rodriguez just 3 nights before last woman standing. Well, dare I say, this matchup several weeks in the making, and it is time for them to clash. And I think Julia's about the last person that Raquel wanted to see 3 nights before what is going to be a grueling battle at Bad Blood. Well, nonetheless, this is the events that the Pick Your Poison can bring upon us. Julia one-on-one with Raquel Rodriguez and holding no punches. Especially after last week, Julia knew that the opportunity at hand was huge. One-on-one with the Women's United States Champion Liv Morgan. A victory for Julia, something that she had done before. That's beat Liv Morgan. Obviously put her in line for a future championship opportunity, but Raquel made sure that wasn't going to be the case. Raquel interfering in that matchup more times than I can count on one hand, and Julia's got her own bone to pick, and she's looking to do it right here and right now. A beautiful madness all over the #1 contender for the Women's World Championship. Raquel's still alive. Io Sky a couple of weeks ago was put through a table at ringside by Raquel Rodriguez. That really just goes to show you the lengths of this rivalry between Raquel and Io has traveled in 2025. Those two women with a lot of history with each other, and I think after Sunday we are going to be looking at the rivalry between Io and Raquel as one of the greatest women's rivalries we have ever seen in this industry. Like the new attitude of Raquel over the last few months or not, it has been fun to watch between those two women. Two women hell-bent on being the best, being the women's world champion. Raquel Rodriguez was dominant for quite some time here on SmackDown, but Io Sky has proven to be her kryptonite in this calendar year. Talked about it earlier tonight. Io Sky, 2025 Elimination Chamber match winner, dethroning Raquel Rodriguez in one of the best matches of this calendar year back at WrestleMania, and did so yet again, defeating Raquel and retaining the gold back in August at SummerSlam. And Raquel has not forgotten about all that heartbreak. Big boots sending Julia up and over the top rope and down to the floor at ringside. Julia, I'm sure, out here not only to do a number on Raquel, but to get retribution in her own right. Raquel Rodriguez, however, just looking to do what we said earlier, and that's send a message to Io Sky. Raquel out to show that Io is in trouble, that her days are numbered, and that the women's world title will be leaving her grasp come Sunday. Raquel has proven to be more destructive, more dominant than ever, more vicious than ever. Really has cut ties with pretty much all her old friends in the SmackDown locker room, although herself and Liv Morgan really have buddied up with each other over the last couple of months. Make some common enemies in the Kabuki Warriors. Julia as well have brung together that friendship. Obviously has benefited both of them, hitting each other's in victories numerous times here on SmackDown. Just as recent as last week. And notice how Raquel has completely turned the tides in this matchup. She has taken Orlando, Florida out of it. She has silenced this crowd, and she is meticulously picking apart the beautiful madness. The power of Raquel on full display. She looks to get her hand raised just 3 nights before she could become a 3-time world champion. Of course, the rules are going to be much different come Sunday, as we talked about earlier. No countouts, no disqualifications, no pinfalls or submissions on Sunday night. There's Julia, able to shake off Raquel for a moment. And look at that exploder variation. Great strength shown by Julia. I don't know how many times we're going to get Raquel off her feet like that, but I should say Julia digging down deep. And now taking the fight to Raquel. Into the ropes she goes, and a big boot by the beautiful madness. The former NXT Women's Champion, who has taken SmackDown by storm since arriving back in June, is out to settle her own bad blood here tonight in Orlando. Now Raquel set to the post. Julia starting to hit a new groove, and Raquel has got no answer. The rally has begun. Orlando on their feet. Raquel Rodriguez may be in trouble. Here comes Julia. Into the cover. And the #1 contender able to survive. Man, defeat is about the last thing Raquel wants to see 3 nights before one of the biggest matches of her career. Especially after The story of Raquel and Io in 2025 has featured 2 major losses for Raquel. The last thing Raquel wants is to come up short against Julia 3 nights before she once again is back inside the ring with Io Sky. Julia, however, has taken over this matchup. Momentum firmly in her grasp, and although she didn't get the 3 count a few moments ago, she's got Raquel down and possibly close to being out. Julia trying to get payback for the recent attacks, and of course the actions last week of Raquel Rodriguez that cost her that matchup against Liv Morgan. But there's Raquel shutting her down. Snap suplex, now ragdolling Julia into the corner. Raquel Rodriguez trying to rely on her power game here. And now the twist and splash coming out of the corner. Powerful frame coming crashing down and nearly putting Julia away, but not enough just yet. Another near fall here on SmackDown as the second match in your Pick Your Poison progresses. Io Sky able to defeat Raquel's choice of NXT's Lola Vice earlier on. Can Raquel do the same to Io's choice of Julia? All about keeping momentum on your side, gaining that edge, getting under your opponent's skin ahead of that championship matchup on Sunday. Look at Raquel just dropping the shoulders, dropping the elbows, we shall say, all over Julia, one after another after another. Julia now able to turn things around, boot right to the abdominal. Julia loves to throw those strikes, one of the hardest hitters in the women's division today. But it knocked Raquel a little bit for a loop, and now the knee sends Raquel right out of the ring. I don't even know if Julia intended to send Raquel for a ride, but she did just that. Raquel Rodriguez now dazed on the outside, and it's Julia with the flying forearm. Taking a page out of the phenomenal AJ Styles book. Oof. Got a boot for her troubles. I don't know if ringside is the place you want to be with Raquel Rodriguez, especially after the last few months and the portfolio of destruction that Raquel has progressed. Off the announce table, now right into those diamond-plated steps goes Julia. Raquel Rodriguez gets taken to the outside, not by her own will, but by force. She is using the outskirts to her advantage now. Referee Jessica Carr at a count of 7. These 2 women more focused on tearing each other apart at the given moment. Julia sending Raquel to the barrier. These women got to get back inside the ring. Referee's at a count of 9 here. And Jessica Carr with no choice but to count these 2 women out. Well, not the result you want to see. It has been a hell of a matchup thus far between Raquel and Julia, but the fight starting to get past boundaries. And this match has been thrown out and decided on a double count out. Well, the match may be over, but I don't think Raquel and Julia are done. Raquel's still attacking Julia on the outside. Raquel Rodriguez out to send a message to Io Sky 72 hours before the world title's on the line. A bad blood. And speaking of the champion, Io Sky making her presence felt. Making sure the beatdown doesn't continue and hoping to gain some retribution ahead of bad blood. Well, I think this was bound to happen here tonight in Orlando with champion and challenger under the same roof. It's just 2 weeks ago that Io Sky was put through a table at ringside by Raquel. It was after that that Io knew it was time to settle the score between these 2. Well, this fight now progressing here in Orlando, Florida. First, Raquel and Julia going to a double countout, and now, 3 nights before the last woman standing matchup, Io and Raquel are about to tear each other apart. Raquel out over the barricade in the midst of the WWE Universe in the middle of the Kia Center. Some of these people didn't even have a front row seat, but they're getting front row to the action right now as champion and challenger are squaring off. Might need to empty the locker room to keep these 2 women apart after the storied rivalry that they've had, not only this year, but even going back to 2024. One of the greatest rivalries in women's wrestling history, on the verge of writing yet another chapter, and both Raquel and Io want to get the edge. We have got to stop this before somebody gets seriously injured ahead of last woman standing on Sunday. Get some rest, save your energy. Io Sky all over Raquel. I don't know if she was out here to stop the beatdown of Julia or just to get her own edge over the challenger, but either way, these two women are going at it. Io putting on the brakes before she ran right into that electrical box. Referee Jessica Carr, I think you might need a couple more referees out here to get these two women apart. Surrounded by nothing but steel and concrete at the given moment. And a hell of a lot of people here in the Kia Center. Io Sky up on that box. And a crossbody takes Raquel down. Man, oh man. Io Sky, Raquel Rodriguez, the rivalry continues, and there's a boot by the challenger. And he'll send in Io gut first right into the electrical box again. Raquel looks to be heading towards the backstage area, ladies and gentlemen, as we try to regain some composure here in the Kia Center. Coming up next, the megastar LA Knight, the Auszilla Bronson Reed. These two men got a score to settle, and they go one-on-one next. This November, the heat rises to a whole new level. The WWE returns to South Beach, Miami, Florida, for a night where grudges burn hotter than the Florida sun, and bad blood finally boils over. Championships will hang in the balance. Metal will be tested. Rivalries will explode. Every superstar stepping into that ring has something to prove and someone to destroy. Because when tempers flare and egos clash, there's only one place where it all gets settled. Presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships, this is WWE Bad Blood. We are just 72 hours away from the live premiere event from the KCI Center in Miami. It is the 2025 Bad Blood. And of course, the action going to begin 30 minutes prior for the live premiere event for Noah Nation Gaming channel members on the Bad Blood Kickoff Show. There's a score to settle between two former Cruiserweight champions. The Cardiac Kid Wesley turned his back on the young OG Javon Evans, and Evans has been out for retribution ever since. Evans and Lee on the Bad Blood Kickoff Show. We saw the LWO turn away the Judgment Day in tag team action earlier tonight. Will Rey Mysterio be able to do so again when he takes on his son, Dirty Dom, for the Cruiserweight Championship of the World? Dom defeated Rey a couple of weeks ago. Who's going to get the edge over the other when the title's on the line? Io Sky and Raquel Rodriguez, as you saw moments ago, are out to tear each other apart. For the third time this year, they meet on a premium live event. It is a last woman standing matchup for the Women's World Championship. Another contest from Thursday Night SmackDown sees the WWE Tag Team titles on the line. Motor City Machine Guns called their shot. McIntyre and Sheamus dropped them with the Tag Team Gold for it. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin want their shot at the gold, and they're going to get it come Miami, Florida. Another tag team matchup that has come together in recent weeks on Monday Night Raw sees the All-Star team of the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and the best in the world, CM Punk, standing side by side to take on the Bloodline, Samoan Werewolf Jacob Fatu, and Solo Sikoa. It is a SummerSlam rematch. Lyra Valkyria is out to silence the naysayers and prove that she can beat Rhea Ripley in a fair fight. Lyra's WWE Women's Championship is on the line. There is friendship. There is respect between those two women. But it all goes out the door when the title is at stake. John Cena, the never-seen 17, walks into battle with the Bloodlines. OTC, Roman Reigns. What's going through the head of Roman Reigns since he was dropped with a rock bottom, then awarded a title match by The Rock 24 hours later? Roman looks to bring back the title to the Bloodline come Sunday night. And of course, in the SmackDown main event, it all comes to a head inside Devil's Playground. Hell in a Cell as the Prince Finn Balor defends the World Heavyweight Championship against the Archer of Infamy, Damian Priest. Over 2 years of history, all leads to this one final battle at Bad Blood. But it is main event time on Thursday Night SmackDown.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Black Forest, South Australia, weighing in at 330 pounds, Big Bronson Reed.
We got two guys that are hell-bent on getting an opportunity at the World Heavyweight title. It was a couple of weeks ago here on SmackDown that the megastar LA Knight was staking his claim for a future championship opportunity. The Oscilla Bronson Reed returned for the first time since being sent home in an ambulance at SummerSlam in August and took out LA Knight. Reed said LA Knight was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But LA Knight took it personally, and a week later, with a hit-and-run attack, dropped the Oscilla with a BFT dead center of the ring. They both want an opportunity, but they gotta earn it. And that can start here tonight in Orlando.
And his opponent from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 241 pounds, LA Knight.
The defiant megastar, LA Knight, won the United States Championship earlier this year at WrestleMania, held it for several months here on Thursday Night SmackDown. But now is looking to move up the ladder. Wants to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. As we heard from Bronson Reed 2 weeks ago, the Oscilla wants the same damn thing. Well, it remains to be seen who is going to leave South Beach on Sunday as the World Heavyweight Champion, whether it be Finn Balor or the current challenger, Damian Priest. But rest assured, whoever survives Hell in the Cell and walks out of Miami with the big gold belt may be seeing one of these two men in the near future. Bronson Reed said LA Knight was in the wrong place at the wrong time and he had a message to send. LA Knight took it a little bit more personally than that. A tsunami that led to a BFT, and now it leads to LA Knight versus Bronson Reed one-on-one here on SmackDown. Both of these men want an opportunity at the World Heavyweight Championship, while defeating the other is certainly a way to garner some attention and put yourself at the front of the line in the near future. This is what happens when you have two massive egos, two hungry superstars looking to take the next step on SmackDown. They're bound to collide, and that is what leads us to tonight's main event. Bronson Reed, a man familiar with challenging for the World Heavyweight title. Then Ilya Dragunov back in the midst of his championship reign in the month of July at Money in the Bank. The same night, LA Knight lost his United States Championship. It'll be a definitive night for both of these superstars. When you look back at the timeline and see how far they've come. LA Knight dropping Bronson Reed momentarily, but as history tells us, it's one thing to knock the big Oscilla off his feet. It's a whole other thing to keep him there. As Reed, moments later, just bulldozing over the megastar. Bronson Reed, I'm sure, would be willing to do what he did to LA Knight to any superstar in that locker room if it meant getting an opportunity at the World Heavyweight title. Whether it's Damian Priest or whether it's Finn Balor leaving Hell in the Cell on Sunday night as champion, I would not want to be in the ring with one of these two superstars. My goodness! Buckle bomb by the Oscilla, collapsing LA Knight as LA Knight now rolls to the outside and trying to get his wits about him. Not the last place you want to be. You ain't safe whether you're inside the ring or outside the ring with Big Bronson Reed. LA Knight His cobwebs have got to be all over the place as Bronson Reed, like a shark that smells blood in the water. Bronson Reed, we have seen a more dangerous side of him as well in recent months on SmackDown. Man who was the Intercontinental Champion during his time on Raw, lost that title earlier this year at WrestleMania, was drafted to SmackDown, and he has been on a mission ever since the spring to try to become World Heavyweight Champion. Like Bronson Reed or not, win, lose, or draw or not, Bronson Reed has left a pile of bodies in his wake, and LA Knight may be next on the list. Air raid crash to the megastar, and LA Knight gonna survive, but for how much longer? When you're in the ring with Bronson Reed, you ain't going in there for a long fight. You're going in there with pure survival on your mind. Bronson Reed, one of the most dominant forces that SmackDown has ever seen. Brute strength, a powerhouse, obviously the size and stature of the big man. Something that many superstars have not been able to figure out. Bronson Reed dropped LA Knight a couple of weeks ago with that sneak attack. And LA Knight may be seeing it coming tonight and may still not be able to do anything about it. And look at the speed and agility of the Auszilla, just running over LA Knight. Bronson Reed, I think, is starting to enjoy it. All about trying to gain a future World Heavyweight Championship opportunity as LA Knight nearly defeated right there. The Auszilla unable to put a very defiant superstar away. LA Knight, last year on Monday Night Raw, had a couple of opportunities at the undisputed WWE Championship that did not go his way. We're on SmackDown trying to find his way towards the World Heavyweight title picture. We're talking about Bronson Reed and his possibilities, but if LA Knight is able to drop Reed with yet another Blood Force trauma tonight, who's to say that the megastar couldn't be next in line? Clothesline out of the corner, takes the Auszilla off his feet. Dropping a knee as well. LA Knight realizes he's got to stack the offense to try to keep the big man down for good in the middle of the Kia Center. Middle rope. High elevation blockbuster. Revving up the engines for that elbow drop right to the heart. And nearly putting this matchup away, but Bronson Reed still alive. Man, big time maneuvers by LA Knight. The blockbuster off the middle rope right into that signature elbow drop. Unfortunately for the defiant superstar, not enough to keep the big man down as Orlando firmly behind LA Knight here tonight. Bronson Reed, closed fist right to the jawline. Oh man, look at the strength, military press position. LA Knight avoids disaster. And another neck breaker. LA Knight is starting to hit a groove, and I'm not sure the Auszilla has an answer. Back off his feet at least for a moment. Oh, Reed hustles up that time freakishly and now yanks LA Knight off the middle rope. Well, what do we say about Reed not having an answer? I think we're going to retract that statement. LA Knight never saw it coming, and what a Samoan drop. Everything Reed does is done with speed and power behind it. Even if you see it coming, there's nothing you can do about it. Bronson Reed is simply built different. You gotta imagine that any given day is gonna be his day to rule SmackDown. LA Knight sent to the corner once more as Bronson Reed looks to eat him alive. Whatever Reed's got in mind, you gotta believe disaster is gonna be afoot for the megastar, just as it was a couple of weeks ago when Reed struck and dropped LA Knight. Nearly sent him through the canvas with a tsunami. LA Knight back to his feet, but at what cost? Both these men, oh my goodness! Look at the bridge by Bronson Reed. Somehow LA Knight kicks out. I don't know how. Full Nelson into the German, into the bridge by Bronson Reed. What do we say? This guy's built different? That's an understatement. And now the splash in the corner. We might need a shovel to get LA Knight off the canvas tonight. Oh, hold on here. Well, Bronson Reed's on the outside. He's got a steel chair. He uses that, he's going to get disqualified. Oh, I think he just elected against it. Came to his senses, but what he did do is allow LA Knight a moment to rest. And what a fall for the Auszilla. Reed may be starting to become frustrated at LA Knight's survival instincts here as LA Knight continues to fight back. Once again, the rally may be starting to get fired up, starting to be ignited. Bronson Reed set back inside of the ring. LA Knight trying to pick his next move wisely. Goats Reed in. Shoulder block over the top rope. Incredible athleticism. Reed got frustrated, thought about using a steel chair wisely, elected against it. LA Knight started to fight back, but Bronson Reed now. Uh-oh, with Knight on his shoulders. Death Valley driver, call it a day. And another kick out by LA Knight. How the hell is the megastar surviving? Bronson Reed's gonna be thinking the same damn thing. Oh, well, hold on here. Reed just exposed the steel underneath that turnbuckle pad. He's doing it again. Bronson Reed, was he taking a page out of Dominic Mysterio's book? Just exposed the steel on one half of the ring, and now is beating the hell out of LA Knight. Referee Chad Patton going to clean up his mess, and hold on here. Reed's got the steel chair. Referee's back is turned, and Bronson Reed just delivered that steel chair right into the abdominal of LA Knight. Drove it right into the rib cage, and the referee never saw it as he was fixing up the turnbuckle. Uh-oh, Reed now, tsunami! Crushing LA Knights, hopes and dreams, and it's a massive victory for the Auszilla. Well, like it or not, Reed just outsmarted LA Knight. He outsmarted the referee and showed that he's willing to do anything he's got to do to get to the top here on SmackDown. Reed began to become frustrated, unable to put LA Knight away. The survival instincts of the megastar on full display tonight. Reed exposing a half of the ring with the steel underneath those turnbuckles. At some point, referee Chad Patton had to try to fix up the mess, and it allowed Bronson Reed to use that steel chair at ringside, drive it right into the abdominal of LA Knight, crushing the ribs, add a tsunami on top of it, and LA Knight was right for the pickings. Like it or not, Bronson Reed outsmarting us all. Bronson Reed wants to move one step closer to the World Heavyweight Championship. Tonight, he did just that.
Here is your winner, Big Bronson Reed.
Statement-making victory for Big Bronson Reed. If I'm Damian Priest, if I'm Finn Balor, I have just been put on notice and... Oh, hold on here. Oh, well, this is where things become unnecessary. The match is over. LA Knight's down. LA Knight can probably barely breathe at the given moment, and Reed just sent him back inside of the ring. After the steel chair and the tsunami, Bronson Reed continuing this attack. Oh, come on now. Reed back on top with a second tsunami on the megastar. Completely unnecessary. But again, Bronson Reed showing he's willing to do anything he's got to do to get to the top. In 72 hours, we go live from South Beach for the 2025 edition of Bad Blood, where the World Championship will be on the line inside Hell in a Cell.